Hey, Jason here, back with another video for some recording on one of the challenges that I've kind of been avoiding, mostly because I haven't done it myself, so I wanted to make sure I do it first before I record the video with all the possible steps, and it turned out to be pretty interesting. The one that we're talking about here is Zerion, which as we can see down here I think is a medium. It is a medium, okay. So kind of give you a hash out of what we're currently doing right now. So we came up with video one. Video one has all the beginner challenges that kind of came out, including a couple ones that came out a few days later. Video two is hot off the press, and we had video three, video four, and video five. I just finished video six, I think a few minutes ago for traffic, kind of explained how that scenario works. And now we're going to go into video seven, Zerion. Followed by that, we do have a couple challenges that have not been completed yet. They're currently being worked on by other team members who wanted to practice with them, so I'm sure they'll be claimed later on. And once they're claimed, we're going to actually create a video based off those solutions. And then video 9, I do promise to get to LOLs number 2 to complete that, and then LOLs number 3 possibly for video 10. It just depends on how much time that I get, mostly because unfortunately tomorrow, which I think is Thursday the 12th, I will not have any time to do any recordings or streaming. So tomorrow's going to kind of have to be an offhand day. So any challenges that are released tomorrow, we'll create videos. So it'll probably be like a video 11 for Thursday challenges. And there's not a guarantee that I'll have these next 3 videos out anytime soon, but I'll work on that. So definitely expect that we're up to date on most of the challenges anyways. We're only missing a few for the walkthroughs. The team's doing pretty well, and we're excited for future challenges to come out, especially the hard ones, because those are going to take a little bit more emphasis. So let's go into Zerion real quick. So let's go ahead and minimize this. Actually, we'll create this real quick. All right. So Zerion is rated as a medium, and it's malware analysis. So it states that we have observed some odd network traffic and found this file on our web server. Can you find the strange domains that our systems are reaching out to? And it does, tell you it's a malware sample. They've defanged it, so we can go ahead and download it. So you can definitely complete this on a Windows system. I went ahead and already downloaded it, so let's go into the folder that I have in here. And I renamed it because immediately when you look into it, and I'm going to bring this up here, it shows this. And the first step that you see is it's a PHP file. So just to kind of work on kind of the syntax, because it's easier on the eyes, so to speak, I just went ahead and renamed it .php. The good news is that it's not completed. They take out the last part of the function a little bit. Actually, it's up here. Never mind. But I figure it's slightly harmless playing around with this. So we're just going to continue forward with this. The syntax is nice and easy to remember, and that's how we're going to kind of henceforth go through this. So the first thing we should obviously see is that there is this big string here. It's not really a string, but just data on the end of the PHP file, which is very interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of enter this out here because we're going to separate it. And then we're going to look at the main program here. So first thing is hit the first variable, which is equal to some stuff that's going on here. So we'll do the next variable, and then we'll do the next variable, and then there is an exit. Okay. All right. So slightly obfuscated, not too bad. We can probably read into what this is going into, right? So just making sure that everything's separated correctly. It is. All right. So let's start with this one. So this variable, L66 Roger, which is called upon again in the next functionality here with this base 64 decode, and we'll get to that in a second. So it's calling upon explode, and then within inside of it, you have a base 64 decode for this, and file get contents file, which is interesting. Now, this could be fed a number of ways into PHP. However, I highly suspect it's just going to be this. It's being fed into. So let's take a look at the next variable here. And I'm just going to separate this by lines just to make it easier to read. And then we have L6C Roger. And if I highlight this, we see a p-reg replace here. We have an eval here, and we have a call here for this array. So it is declaring it as an array, and the array is being embedded with this information here, right? So there's a lot of layers to this. And then finally, the last variable that we have is L7CRGR, or L7CGR. And it's only one. So it's being fed as a string here. It's looks like a random string. And then, oh, I forgot this. So here's a function call, which is p-reg replace. I'm not 100% sure what this is, but we'll get back to it in a second. And it's being fed the variable, the array from this variable right here. So array 0, which is going to be this. And then it's serializing an evaluation based off array 2. So 0, 1, 2, so it's this one right here, right? This one is pretty deep. There's stuff going on here. We got a rot13, we have a reverse, and we have a decode. Okay, we're going to keep that in mind. So first thing I'm going to take a look at after completing all this is that I'm going to start kind of de-obfuscating some of this code. So right from the bat, there's a base64 decode here, right? So let's open up a CyberChef, right? Because that's something that you should always have in your back pocket, right? And we're just going to base64 decode this for ourselves and see what it says. Oh, it's a character end. Interesting. Okay, so instead of this, all we can do is just put this right. So interestingly enough, it kind of ends the file here, right? That's interesting. I'm not 100% certain what this does. However, I think it's kind of a indicator that there's some shenanigans going on, right? But it's still calling upon this explode here, right? So it's exploding with this input and then this input. It's getting contents from a file, right? So let's keep going real quick. So we got this, and we have an array being assigned, and we're doing another decode of this information here. So let's go ahead and decode it ourselves. Okay, so we have /x/i. Not 100% know what that means, but it replaces this entire thing with just that. Let's do that again with this. Another x. Right, so we're gonna again replace this whole thing with just x. And then we do another base64 decode of a string reverse, of a string rot13, of the second array of this location, right? The second array of this location is this right here, right? And like I stated before, I had a feeling that this would come into play. It has to, right? And I see right up here that there's base64 padding. It's at the top. That's a little off. And we see a rot13, and we see a string reverse. So this has got, this got me really feeling a little something going on with just this stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do this process. I've done this before in a different obfuscated file where we do the step-by-step procedure backwards in CyberChef. And we're going to do this. We're going to do a rot13, then a string reverse, and then a base64 decode, and see what we get. Right? So let's go ahead and bring in the rot13. Put that first, and we'll go ahead and put this in here real quick. We'll pause that for now, and then we'll do a reverse string. Okay, so now it's all reversed by character, and we can verify that by seeing on the bottom that the padding is in the correct location, and then we'll turn this on. And bam, we have a decoded function. So let's take a look at this. Oops. Keep forgetting that little copy paste is up there real quick. And we're just going to go ahead and just replace this because we don't need it anymore into here. And what do we have? All right, so we have a whole function going on here. Oh, and look at that. The flag is right there. So we don't even need to go any further than that. The flag is just sitting right here. So we just had to pay attention to this particular function going on right here. And we could have decoded the rest if we wanted to kind of play around with, because I'm not 100% familiar with preg replace. I know it's calling some arrays here, specifically from this function right here. So it could have been doing a number of things, like it's L6R gr0 is calling upon /x/I, which is a replace, and that's serializing whatever this is, which is this function, and then it's feeding another x to it. So if I wanted to, I could look up what's going on here, but I'm not going to look this up. I think we're done at this point where the flag is. So easier than in my humble opinion about some of the rest of the challenges that we have, especially because it's ranked as a medium. But hey, it does require you to pay attention. So hopefully this helps out with a little bit of trying to figure out some malware analysis, especially when it's obfuscated. And we'll go forth for the next video here, which will be, and we'll bring this up here real quick. I believe it's going to be, yeah, so hopefully it's baking in VB. If these are not completed just yet, what it'll probably most likely do is come out with video 9, which will be LOLs 2, and then we'll go from there. Until then, happy hunting in the challenges, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.